beats a zero.
We make everything look good, including being overweight. So, scientifically, you cannot drink alkaline water and it makes your cells alkalytic.
The closer you are to nature, the healthier you'll be.
All right. Happy Saturday, everyone. I am Carolyn, and you are in the Mind of Nature, hosted by Dr. Zarif, the nutritionist. Thank you all so much for joining us here today. We are live. We are live streaming on Facebook. We are on YouTube, and we are on Instagram. So thank you all so much for joining us. Please go ahead, share the live, share it out, have others be a part of the conversation. Drop comments in the chat. You know how we do. I love to say hi to everyone. I love to see who's in the room. So please go ahead and do so. That would be greatly appreciated. Today, we will be discussing the big, beautiful pill, red and processed meats, best food sources for lasting energy, and foods that are known to cause inflammation. Again, thank you all so much for joining us here today. Dr. Zarif, go ahead and join me here on stage so we can get it started. Hello, hello, grand rising to you.
And grand rising to you, my queen.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah, this is going to be beautiful, everybody. Welcome. We're going to get started right away because time goes fast when you're having fun, and that's exactly what we're going to do. Before we get into this, I want to just go back just a little bit or slow down a little bit and think about what you've learned so far here on the Mind of Nature. Things like, what are you preparing for certain times of the day for your first meal, your largest meal, which should be in the middle of the day. We should be graduated by now. If you're still going to bed with these large meals, on your stomach, I don't think that you're practicing the things that we're suggesting for a healthier life. So the whole purpose of this is that you do something about it. Now we get caught up in the holidays. We have a birthday. Man, sometimes I dread to see the holidays because usually when people go on a cruise or when they go out of town, when they get back, they're not that same person. They want to go back to the relaxation, the euphoria, and we understand that. You want to kick back. You had a ball with your uncles and cousins and grandparents and so forth, and made new friends and all that. That's a very important part of it. But when it comes down to having the opportunity to make yourself healthier, then that's exactly what I am stressing to you today. Okay. So we start off with the big, beautiful pill instead of bill, because this is something that perhaps you can not only for 2025, but for the rest of your life, realize that there are many good things about the medication, and there are many side effects to that medication. So let's go right into it as we read just a few things that came up as far as the indications and the important safety information. There's a new, I don't know, for a few years now, new Zyra. New Zyra is actually a tetracycline class antibacteria that's indicated for the treatment of adult patients. Now, you may have heard of the community-acquired bacterial pneumonia, and that actually causes. That's a bacteria that actually causes a streptococcus, a pneumonia, staphylococcus aureus, hemophilus, influenza, and many more of very, very dangerous bacteria. And this is what we want to definitely, we want to steer away from that as much as you can. Don't feel like, like some people do. They feel like, God, if I'm not taking my pills, or if I don't have a pill to take, then I'm really not healthy, or something's wrong with me. But we want to get you away from that and start doing some of the things that we've been talking about, like the four pillars of health. And one is making sure that you're getting the nutrients from your nutrition. The second one is going to make sure that you're doing some kind of movement, some kind of physical activity, exercise. The other is that you get deep, uninterrupted sleep. And number four, the most powerful of I won't say the most powerful of the four, but just as important, and that is that we have a beautiful relationship with our friends, our neighbors, and loved ones, our community, our family. We want to have those close knit people close to us make a wise decision on who you are spending time around. And if you ever want to know anything about yourself, all you got to do is look at who are you talking to, who are you spending the most time around as we continue to grow. And that's what is really, really all about. It's about that growth. Don't get caught up in stagnation. So, as we are talking about these different bacteria, like Staphylococcus for one of them, it's really important. Not that you know a lot about the bacterium itself, but you want to get some idea of how reckless it is. When you take these pills, you might feel better. Okay, that's good. If you might take these pills, you have less pain. Okay, that's good. So there are some good things that we can extrapolate from just taking the pills, but there are also some things that you should know, and they're called downsides. And downsides, along with contraindicators, when there's a conflict in the mixture of certain chemicals, these are the things that you should be aware of. Another thing to be aware of is how long do you have to take this? What's your end game with this? If you don't ask your doctors that, sometimes you may get just a um, retort such as, it's okay, just keep on doing it and we'll see what happens. Just keep on doing this. You want a doctor that is going to be clear with you. Clarity is most important when you're speaking to your doctor or your medical team. Don't say, okay, yeah, oh, yeah, I feel you, and you don't. You want to make sure that you are tuned in to that person's frequency so that you'll understand clearly what he or her is saying to you and what you should do to follow up on that. Next, we want to talk about the contraindicators, as I said earlier. Now, when you talk about the contraindicators, you are also talking about some of the things um, that you don't want to happen. And when we talked about some of the things that we do want to happen, well, the when it comes down to, like, one of the medications that we talked about today was Nuzira, and Nuzira is contraindicated in the patients with known hypersensitivity to the Omada cycline, and this is another one of the tetracycline class antibacterial drugs, or to any of the excipients. So this is really important. If you don't understand some of the things, I know some of the words are like unusual and maybe not in your vocabulary, but take them, extrapolate, and find out what the heck they mean. Use your smartphone and carry on. Okay, the some of the other when it comes down to, I'm going to go back to some of the other medications that you've probably heard of and find out some of the side effects. And many people are taking, for instance, amlodipine, and in some patients, tenderness and swelling and bleeding, and like pyorrhea, like the bleeding of the gums and soreness. may appear soon after treatment with the medicine is once the medicine is started. But the brushing and flossing of the teeth carefully and regularly to um, and I should say to get that good massage in your gum around the sulcus. The sulcus is the gum and the tooth line. You want to make sure that that's really strong because that will definitely reverse some of the tenderness when you care for your gums and your teeth. Your flossing will help to stop or slow down the bleeding of your gums because they become healthier. And then there's the metoprolol. Metoprolol actually is a ischemic, is used if you're talking about using it for in tablet form, because it could be in liquid form in other forms. But the ischemic heart disease is one of the diseases that this particular prescription is written out for. Uh, the thing about this is like some people it will use it a little while and then they'll abruptly discontinue using the prolo. And it's really this is really important because your doctor should go over with you um, with the metoprolol. It should go over with you so you can understand how it is affecting your body, especially when you want to discontinue abruptly. When discontinuing chronically administered metoprolol tartrate tablets, UPS, I'm sorry, USP, reverse syntax there, particularly in patients with coronary artery disease, the dosage should be gradually reduced over a period of 1 to 2 weeks, and the patient should be carefully monitored. So, when you are taking the medications, you don't want to just feel like, hey, I'm my own doctor. I do what I want to do. And we got a lot of that, and I understand that, as I've said many times, because of our history with some doctors has made, and tainted that connection with the doctor and the patient, because especially if you are in the Black community, and those of you that aren't in the Black community, and those that have empathy for the Black community, you have a better understanding of why people are pretty resistant when it comes to the medications. And then you have gabapentin. Gabapentin may cause vision changes, um, uh, clumsiness, not losing your balance, unsteadiness, dizziness, and I'm sure you're thinking about vertigo now. And these are just some of the things: drowsiness, sleepiness, trouble with thinking. All of these are a part of what the gabapentin may cause. So it's good to be aware of those, because some people just take the uh, medication and think like it's a panacea, that it's going to correct everything. And in fact, it doesn't correct everything. So we're going to come back shortly, and let's continue with our next subject. For now, we're back to care.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Zarif. And thank you to everyone. I just want to shout everyone out just really fast, just really quickly. Hello, Elissa. Hello, hello, Grand Rising to you. Thank you so much for joining us here today. Good morning, good morning. Shirley Gentle. Hey, good morning. Gentle in the house. Hey. And we have I don't want to butcher this name. So thank you so much for joining us. Name is on the screen. Thank you so much for joining us. It says, hey, Dr. Farid Zarif. And Denise Kane, good morning to you. Hello, hello. Thank you
Woo!
all so much for joining us here today. Um, and Velma, hey, Velma. Vigil. Nice to see you in the
Yeah.
room today. Hello, hello. I just like to shout everyone out. You guys know I love to say hello, and I love when you say hello back. So thank you so much. And so, Dr. Zarif, yes, you always. I know you've said before, "pill for every ill." Is that the term that you've used before?
When explaining the pills or medications, uh,
Right.
yeah.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
I'm here. I just wanted to say hello to M. Haken Vilderim. Wow, that's an interesting uh, um, name there. But I just wanted to, it might be even the title, I don't know, but I think it's the name. But I just want to thank you for being here today. And we're glad that we're getting our business taken care of in the correct way with Instagram. We've been missing it a couple of weeks and now we're back in action. But what I want to just compliment you on, Care, you kept going just like, I know I'm going to keep going and I know that in myself, but you are fierce when it comes to taking care of business, and I just want to thank you for that. Let's give it up for Carrie, y'all. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, and we miss the one and only Nurse Smart. Lily is, we definitely miss her. I know you've been busy, but thank you so much for being here. It's just always great to have you here. I,
Absolutely.
I
I,
want to go ahead now. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
oh no, I was just gonna say thank you to Nurse Smart. But hey, there's Mama Smart or Mama Smith, Mama Gentle, I should say.
Mama Smart,
all,
smart
all of
gentle.
them. She's made
All of
all
them.
of them.
That's
To my
right.
mama, hey mama, and then there's Michelle Franklin. Hello, she says, "Hey fam, watching all the way
Hey,
from
sis.
Arkansas." Thank you so much for tuning in, Michelle.
And when we have Michelle here, Michelle, we miss you. We had a great time last week. For those of you that came, you know what I'm talking about. We had a ball. We worked. I mean, we were sweating. It was like, whoa. I
Yeah,
mean, we were sweating like back in the day when we had all the steam on the windows. It was really, really great. So we miss you and welcome back. I know you got a lot to do, you got a lot of responsibilities, but we certainly appreciate you. Everybody, what I'm talking about is Funkinetics and along with nutrition classes that we have at Mount Tabor Missionary Baptist Church every first and third Saturday of each month. And it starts at 9 a.m. and it lasts until 11. You got to come down, get it. I am so glad people came with a really made up mind. I'm going to work out. We're getting people now that are being consistent 2 times a month. We definitely want to work out more. Maybe we'll put that in the air now, and maybe that'll develop as we continue going. But we certainly appreciate and love the one and only Michelle Franklin, because without her, this wouldn't be jumping off like this at all. So really appreciate you and thank you so much. Let's go ahead and move right into the red and processed meats, shall we? So when we talk about the red and processed meat, now, first of all, Chris Rock said, he'll eat red meat, but he just won't eat green meat. And it's like it's so funny when you think about it. Of course, he's a comedian, that's his job. But when it comes down to the seriousness of it, it's very, very important that you understand what you're putting into your body. So we'll start off with just a couple of things that you can put down. You can note it, and this is something that is really helpful for you. Red meat is associated with an increase of risk of colon and rectum cancer. It's called colorectal cancer. And evidence also suggests it is associated with some cancers, such as prostate and pancreatic cancer. Now, examples of red meat include beef and pork and lamb. Processed meats are red meat and poultry products. that have preserved. They've been preserved by these processes, and they're smoking, curing, salting, and or the addition of the chemical preservatives. Now, examples of the processed meat include hot dogs, sausages, bacon, and luncheon meats. Now, have you ever stopped for a moment and thought about why are those foods different than the foods that you see maybe up on the camera now, the chunks of meat there? Well, for one thing, as I understand it, and I understand because you can be told what happens, and you can research this for yourself. The International Agency for Research on Cancer is one of the better resources. But the point that I'm getting to is that when you eat or you serve your children lunch meats and hot dogs and bacon, all of these are types of meats that have been associated with cancer. Now, you have some meats that people will eat, like, for instance, the red meat that CDC has classified as a carcinogen, and the people who eat it has potential for cancer and very dangerous in that class. And then you have the second class under that. This is where people will eat, for instance, hot dogs and that kind of thing. And then these are some of the foods that are classified as a food that will cause cancer. So you got the ones that have the probability, or they have potential. Potential means it hasn't happened yet, but the potential of causing cancer. So this is when I talk to you about this. This isn't for you to kind of put to the side. Remember, if you're going to be eating all of that, look at this here. If you look at this photo and you see in the background, you notice that back there is blurred. The string beans are blurred. Well, this is how it also looks in a lot of our daily regimens when we eat. Now here's more vegetables. I'll leave it there for a minute. And seasonings. You know that people eat meat and they'll make fun of the lettuce and tomatoes and carrots and so forth. But guess what? They use plants to make that particular piece of meat taste as closely as those seasonings as possible. In other words, they want to enjoy it and get deeper into the taste of the meat by adding seasonings, which are what? Plants. Now, processed meats are like red meat and poultry products that have been preserved by, like I said earlier, you can buy these smokers now. Cure, like a person, if you're from down south, remember Cure the pig, or if you're from some islands and you've traveled, you know what I mean by that. Some examples of processed meats, especially the sausage. If there's a saying, if you like law and if you like breakfast, don't look at the process, because then you won't anymore, because what you don't see will definitely turn you off. But the processed meat is associated with the increased risk of colorectal cancer. And evidence also suggests that it is associated with stomach cancer. So we've talked about different cancers. We talked about rectum cancer. We've talked about colon cancer. We talked about stomach cancer because of red meats. And I know a lot of us get at the table and we forget all about what I talked about, or anybody else for that matter, because we love the euphoria, the way that we feel. So we understand that. I understand that. But this is what we need to do because we definitely don't want to get some of those nasty cancers. And you also see the relationship, prosthetic or prostate cancer, pancreatic cancer. That's all of that is related to the colorectal cancer. So you don't want that in your body at all. Please listen to me and make a better decision when it comes even to your next meal. Let's move on here and just talk a little bit about the lean meats that can be a good source of iron or heme iron. Remember we talked about non-heme iron and we talked about the heme iron. Now the heme iron is very important for our bodies, but it is one that it is a nutrient that's extrapolated from meat. And then you have your non-heme iron, which is extrapolated from plants. And of course, the way that we've learned is that when you get your protein, you get it from meat, and your iron, you get it from meat, and it can be other things too. But the red meat and the processed meats are more likely to cause inflammation. And when you're eating these foods and your joints are hurting, your back is hurting, the back of your neck is hurting, you will see your hygiene, your oral hygiene may suffer also because of the meat lodged in the sulcus or between your teeth. And if you're not, you couple that with not flossing. They make flossing, they have now a little easier that you can, it's already even stretched for you, and you put the floss right between the teeth, and it is made very, very easy for you. They are typically the meats and red meat and the processed meat are typically stocked with saturated fat. Now, saturated fat. Now, remember, these are the fats that can block your arterioles, capillaries, your veins, your arteries. You don't want that in your body. You see, and wherever your blood is, and you're eating saturated fat, that's where the saturated fat is too. You don't want to eat the saturated fat. Now, there's a wonderful uh, let me see the fat. What am I thinking? Oh, I'm thinking about coconut oil. And coconut oil is one of the things that, or one of the foods that are in the saturated fat category, except there's an exception. There's I believe it's learnin or lurin acid that actually helps to break down that saturated fat. So that saturated fat in coconut oil is in fact different than the saturated fat that you would get from beef and you can get from fowl and fish. Okay, the saturated fat it prompts the immune cells to release inflammatory proteins into the bloodstream. So that's why you want to be aware of these things, because you can eat a steak, hamburger, bacon. You have sausage and deli and lunch meat is very unhealthy. I'll just put it that way. Don't get too dramatic about it, but you need to stop eating it. Basically, if you're serious about your health, make sure that you make that decision. Now, from all these meats that we're talking about, guess which food is the one that has the most protein in it? And if you said um, meat, you are correct, because when we're eating the meat, as you see here in this photo, you'll see a lot of different types of food, but part of the food's composition is protein, is carbohydrates, and fat. Look at all the fat marbling this beef. Now, there's Kobe beef, which they want to make fat on purpose. And the fat, more fat in the beef, the more fat that we eat with the food, the tastier it is. So that's why things like avocados, people can eat them right out. You know, you just, cut it in half, and you can take a spoon and dip right in, or you can put some seasoning on it. There's many ways, but be aware of the um, all of the foods that you eat. Let's go back to the protein. The Your body needs protein for all sorts of important work. We need protein because it also is a integral part of our healing. So most adults should get 10 to 35% of their um, daily calories. And remember, calories, another way to say calorie instead of is 1 degree Celsius. Forget that. Let's talk about what um, uh, calories are. And very basic is they are units of heat and energy. In other words, the energy that you get from a calorie, or the energy that that the calorie gives the body, is something that is very important, because without it, our bodies would not run. Let's just put it like that. Now, there's an electrical component. There's other components to it, but when it comes to the energy that we have in our bodies, being up, good morning, how you doing, grand rising, hey, when you got that energy in and you moving about, this is important. So for men, the 10 to 35% of their daily calories, the way that it works out is around about 56 grams of protein a day. And for women, it's about 46 grams per day. Again, men usually eat somewhere around 56 grams per day, and women 10 less, 46 grams per day. So this is really important. Some days you don't get the same amount because you're not eating the same stuff. So, and it's good to change up. Okay. So as we continue on, um, I want to go back up to care, but for right now, what I want to do is I want to talk to you a little bit about the lasting energy. But before we go into the best sources of lasting energy, uh, back to care.
Thank you so much, Dr. Zarif. Great information. I have some questions in the comments, so I wanted to go ahead and get to those. Let's see here. Shirley is saying, does it make a difference if you buy the meats without sodium nitrate?
Very good question. It is, if you have there, truthfully, whether you have sodium nitrate or not, the other things like uric acid, saturated fat, um, in some cases, the bacteria, there's other things that are just not cool when it comes to eating meat. Now, here is the thing too. I want to be clear that even when you dismiss or you get a food that doesn't have the sodium nitrate in it, there are other things like acrylamide. There's, as you know, the other things that I just named, the saturated fat, the artificial colors, the stuff that they may use in processing the meat, even the hormones that you eat in the meat. That flesh itself can be deleterious. So, if you are going to eat meat, eat very small amounts. And I know when you eat meat and somebody says, we're not eating meat anymore, or the families, we're not eating any more meat, it's probably going to be an upset in that house. But
Right.
if you're in a situation where you just want to do make a healthier move, you want to definitely cut back on the meat, and you do a lot for the earth also. because there's a huge footprint when it comes to feeding all of the cattle. Then the some the kinds of the bacteria, the methane is so many things. I don't know if you. Well, I'm going into another thing now. Let me just stick to Nurse Smart's question. But that's the my comments for that. Thank you for that question.
Wonderful.
Did you have any more, Kara?
Yes, I do. I have a question here from Belma, asking, so is the only healthy breakfast still cut oatmeal and fruit?
Thank you for that. It sounds like it, doesn't it, Velma? Thank you so much. But no, actually, there's a lot of other things that you can have for breakfast. Just keep in mind that the fruit and the steel cut oats, these are, especially when I'm speaking about fiber and I'm speaking about initiating your first bowel movement for the day. Now, there's other foods that'll do the same thing. Usually, food stimulates the digestive system, and it eventually causes the evacuation of waste. But when you are eating breakfast, there's a lot of things there you can make, well, especially with the fruit, because you can make fruit cocktails, you can juice, you can have smoothies. You can also have take for me, because I don't eat flesh. And it's not just about me, just like a trend. I was like this as a little boy, because I remember chewing the meat and I saw it was still in my mouth after all that chewing. And my mother used to, I used to irritate my mother with that. She just take that, put it down, and put it back in your mouth. And but the if you're again eating your breakfast, you can use soy. That's one of the things. You can use millet. Uh, some people, even if you used things like quinoa, and some people even have, because there is a wahine rice. They'll make a early morning rice and sweeten it, and they'll eat that. And sometimes other people don't like the butter and sugar that goes on. Um, and then some. Back to the. I'm going to check myself here. Back to the question is making sure that you know that you also can get. There's a lot of artificial meat now that is actually shown to be very healthy. I use Impossible, because if I want to make little sausages, I can do that. There's also a pack of, sausages that is actually all plants. And you can buy that and you can make your own. Scramble the tofu. You can make a tofu scramble, as it's called. Also, in the morning, or that second or third meal leading up to your largest meal, you can also have small portions of other, like beans, like lentils. Yeah, that early. See, a lot of people get up and they have fried bacon, but they don't have any nuts. The nuts that are they're filled with proteins, and they also have the good oils in it. The oils that we're always talking about. You want to get the polyunsaturated and monounsaturated fats in your body. Omega threes. See, so all of those are things too. Um, you can also have there times that you can have, like asparagus, or you might have like an egg scramble, and you will make like an omelet, uh, but it's just like a scramble, because of course it's not the same texture as um, albumin is the white of an egg. So you take that, or there's
Mhm.
other, if you want to go a little deeper into it, there are other different herbs, and there are other, like what is that? The um, Kia. What's the fruit? What's the plant? Chia.
Chia
So
seed.
so chia. When you soak chia, you'll see how it separates and it just changes the viscosity of the water. And you'll some people get into that where they have that kind of albumin texture, and they take that and they make an omelet with it. And with that omelet, again, we're talking about what you can do in the morning. And thanks to Velma, we're talking about this. You can take it and you can flap it over, and you will have a an omelet with broccoli, onions, bell peppers. However, I use the trio, and that's the celery and the bell peppers and onions, and smells good, tastes delicious. So yeah, those are some of the things that you can do. Also, and lastly, you can also use now the plant-based cheeses. Plant-based cheese. You can make use a morning or breakfast pizza. You can also take that same cheese and make different toast with it. Put it in the middle of muffins, the little muffins that with those that eat biscuits and that those kinds of things in the morning. So there's a lot of things. You just have to be creative. Go get a sheet from Trader Joe's. They give like some samples in there, and there's a lot of people that cook with nothing but Trader Joe's foods, so they can be found on YouTube. Okay, so thank you for your question, Velma. That was really great.
And also that just reminds me that there we Dr. Zarif is working on a plant-based reset guide, so to speak. It's going to be a video guide that's going to be available. We're working on it to put everything together, but that's going to help with anyone that would like to switch over to a plant-based lifestyle and understand how to do it. And he also talks about, you know, the what is it, first hour, second hour, the
Yeah, right. The eating times.
yes, but there's a word for it. You call it the your body system and the clock.
Oh yes, right, right. The circadian rhythm.
Thank you. Circadian rhythm. Yes. So, all that information is going to be available. It's going to be a guide for us to get pretty soon. So stand by. That will be available. There's let me see. There is another question here. Are there any? This is from Velma's question. Are there any non non unhealthy dry cereals?
That's another good. Who asked that question, Velma?
Velma. Yeah.
Wow, Velma, you're on fire. Uh, that's great. Yes, there are some healthier foods or cereals, but they're made by like Mills Creek. Mills Creek is a brand that you've heard that before, Kara?
I
Mills
have.
Creek.
Yes, I've seen
Yeah.
it before.
Yes, and there's a few more. I think there's about 5 to 7 brands like that that really um, prepare these grains without things like frying or overcooking or the other processes that some like Raisin Bran and Cocoa Puffs and all those things. I won't say any certain brands because I don't. We when they start cutting checks, we'll talk about them more. But right now,
Right.
so yeah. The question is, are there any other? Is there an alternative to eating like the dry cereals that they have on the shelf? And the answer is yeah. The best is Mills Creek, and it's really great. Take some time and look through places like Sprouts and Whole Foods. Irwine's, which is my favorite. But if you go to Irwine's is like, yeah,
You got to
that's
go
right.
with your whole bank account.
Yeah, you gotta. They should be on another street in Beverly Hills. But it's the thing about the good thing about it, whatever you want when it comes to vegetarian and vegan, they have it. You will see a lot of vegans that hang out there, and
Hmm.
it's they have some of the best juices. They have a huge array of juices that they can make for you, and that's on Beverly Boulevard, by the way, everybody.
Mm.
So check them out. Check them out.
I do have another question here, Dr. Zarf. I
Okay.
know we're going to the other subject, but there is one here from Dr. James Thompson. Hey, hello, great to see you.
Hey.
Question is, are there any concerns you should have with Impossible Burger?
I think so. And thank you. Good to see you, Dr. James. Yeah, I do have concerns, and I would say now not to go to the ingredients, but to go to any food that comes out. They have not only that particular brand, but any of the plant food brands. When you plant based food brands, is not the key is not to overdo it.
Hmm.
Yeah, I use that now because remember, for instance, when people were talking about tofu and that book, The Garden of Eden. I don't know if some of you remember that, but that's a long time ago. It was very, very popular. And in the, I think that's the book, The Garden. I think that's what it was called, or it might have been, yeah, something like that. But it was a book that uh, um, Jethro Cross, I believe it was. He actually talked about and introduced the raw and cooked and baked and fried, all these different ways that you can use, soybean. And it got very, very popular. But what happened is a lot of people overdid it. And they had soy for breakfast, soy for dinner, soy for lunch, soy for snack, everything, soy lollipop, soy smoothie, everything, because it's very versatile.
Hmm.
But what happens is when we overdo it, as you know, Dr. James, it just is definitely deleterious, and I would say to the point of just being totally dangerous. Don't do that because when people do it, they do face those side effects, as we said, but that's because they eat too much of it. Soy is one of the, I don't know what the heck it is now, dealing with Trump. Trump is this is the one of the most miserable humans I've ever even heard of in my life. I mean, for so many reasons. I know if people get upset with me and they click off and go somewhere else, that's fine. I'm glad you're gone. But it's really when it comes down to loving people, eating healthier. Who leads our people and just say nothing about the health? They just throw some. You just he tell the guy, yeah. Now you know a little bit about nutrition more than me. I don't really care about that. The money is over here. Yeah, you go ahead and do that, RFK. I don't want to get into that, but I can't stand that dude. Okay, so let's go ahead to the next question. What was it?
Um, well, is this a
Oh,
comment?
and I should say, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I should say thank you, Dr. James, for the question too. Check out Dr. James. Dr. James, can we put up? Do we have something that we put over Dr. James' book?
I don't, but I mean, I can make one
Okay.
with any
Yeah.
information that you may have.
Hmm.
Um, Allison Gentle says I'm cutting down on oxtails. Um, good luck with that, Dad.
I'm just thinking about that. I'm just thinking about that oxtails.
Yes.
Now, oxtail, like when think about that, and this is something that we learned. I mean, I remember when I was a little boy, my mother used to say things, and I was kind of like, where does it come from? And she would say something like, look, if you don't eat it, you won't be eating nothing else because that's all we got today. And I had to eat something.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember oxtails, and I remember cow tongue and pig brains. And it's even myself as a child, I was like, what's going on here? Because it was like I would look at the actual brain of a pig, and people used to fry them and mix it up with scrambled eggs.
Okay. That one I've not never done that one before. But I will say that I used to eat oxtails and they are delicious, especially the way my mom makes them. I'm just saying.
Well, I
But
understand that.
yes,
I understand that. I mean, and no shade to anybody,
yes.
but I think that it's one of those things that we can do less of and do better with. Because I know, if you grow up on the stuff like that, and somebody comes along and say, that's not the healthiest thing to do, they all they hear is blah 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 blah. That's
Yeah.
all they hear. They don't hear you really speaking to that. But you will find out more and more, especially today, when who knows, some of the best inspectors may be fired from their jobs because you're dealing with T-rump. That's just really leaves us vulnerable to people that aren't qualified to investigate or to inspect meat. Now, there's meat inspection is still pretty much you look at it, you smell it, and you touch it
Mm-hmm.
you
Oh,
know and some now, because of all of the bacterium that has been widespread, there are different apparatus that test the food for how much bacteria, like E. coli, shigella, salmonella. These are some of the so-called bad uh, bacteria, and we want to just keep that in mind as you continue to grow. But I understand. Thank you for being transparent,
mhm.
and Mr. Gento, thank you very much for being transparent. And it helps us really stay real with it, because
Mhm.
we want to talk about all this good food stuff. Yummy, yummy, yummy. And then it's right after I've been on shows on radio and TV that we'll take a break, and everybody, the stuff that they have in the green room is like, who is this for?
Mm.
And everybody's eating donuts and drinking coffee. I just, be about what you talk about,
Right.
You
Yes,
know?
absolutely. I want to say hello to Reverend Dr. Diva D. Coates. Hello, hello.
Hey,
She
the
says,
doctor is in the house.
yes, she says, hey, Dr. James.
He loves Dr. James.
I had to put when I saw it, I was like, let me go ahead and let them know she's there. Thank
Yeah.
you all so much, and there's Shanizi as well. Shanizi, hey, good morning to you.
Shanizi, it's a
Thank
long
you so
time.
much. Says good morning, everyone. Happy Saturday, July 26, 2025. I just want to thank the Lord Jesus Christ for putting our names on the wake up list this morning. Amen. Thank you so much for joining us here
Amen.
today. Woo.
Beautiful. Yeah, that's right. Let's get it going.
Yes.
So let me go. I want to go ahead and bring this back up. You have some more people over here. Let me get a couple of names out for you here. We got Haken Vilderim. We have Snow. We have White Snow 37 has joined us. Big shout out to Sky Aim Productions, and we definitely have we have Charlie L.A. Charlie Wilson is in the house. Charlie Wilson, thank you very much for being here. And as soon as I hear Charlie Wilson, I start thinking about the Gap Band. So if you are if you are that Charlie Wilson, thank you very much. And if you are not that Charlie Wilson, we thank you. Thanks a lot for everybody being here. This is really, really great. So we're going to move on, and remember, your comments are super important. Make sure that you give us a thumbs up, and make sure that you subscribe. We
Yes.
want to hit 1 million by the end of this month. We want people to get involved with it. I'm just playing, but
Yes. Yes.
I'm playing a little bit, but I'm really serious. I really want people to, because we've been bringing you the kind of information that makes a difference in the way that you feel, the
Mhm.
way that you perform, the way that you heal. These are very important points for you and your family. So please don't walk away without giving us something like, a thumbs up. That's all we asking for. A comment is lovely, lovely, but a subscription is even better.
Yes.
Send people, and we'll keep on doing our thing. We're going into, I think, our third year,
Yes.
and this is really, and I mean consistent. I don't mean we took 8 months off and came back. We have been here for you, and we'll continue to be. With your help, we can do it. Okay, let's go into the best food sources for energy. Now, what I'm talking about when I talk about energy, I'm talking about the kinds of foods that will not only give us the energy, but they'll fill us up. They're satisfying. They also will help protect us against certain things like type 2 diabetes, heart disease, obesity, arthritis, and other inflammatory diseases. So make sure that you keep your mind on things like your walnuts and your cranberries, and not, as you notice when you're looking at this photo, you don't see any of it. We don't want anybody like with the turning off from nuts, but stay away as much as you can, or eat as little as you can of the roasted nuts. Okay. Yep. I know. Dang, what can you eat then? Everything, Yeah. It's just the same thing as I was just speaking about the oxtails. I know they're delicious, like the roasted peanuts and nuts are delicious, but keep in mind the risk that you're taking. We always want to lower the risk of disease and infection. We want to reduce that. Okay, some of the foods that cause inflammation, well, first we have to learn about what types of foods that our body needs. And we know that our body needs fats, we know that our body needs carbohydrates, and we know that our body needs protein. So with that, we are committed to making better choices in the things that we eat, because that actually increases or it decreases our risk of, again, infection, of illnesses, disease. Okay, now your body is actually set up to absorb these things and all the good stuff like your vitamins and your minerals, all the different types of nutrients. And these nutrients are found in, um, they're found in fruit, and they're found in vegetables, they're found in nuts, legumes. Beans has to be number one on my list for me, particularly. I know some people that may be out on islands and they're fishing a lot. That's probably number one on their list as far as the food that helps them to sustain and sustain life, and to make sure that they're getting all the necessary nutrients to avoid starvation. I am sorry, and I definitely send prayers up for the people of Gaza, that whole situation. If it were on the other foot, I'll be the same. I'm talking about people. I don't even bring up the war stuff, or I mean the political stuff, because when it comes down to people, man, we're all of us belong to the Creator, and it's incredible when I see those children. It's so sad the way that they're suffering. Those of you that can do something to contribute and get some to them. I know there's been a lot of other political stuff where they're not allowing the people to even eat but one meal a day. Some of them aren't getting that. And there's been, I think, about 115 people that have died of starvation so far. Children have been killed there. It's just really bad. It's very hard. I mean, I'm not silent about it. I've been very, very clear about that. But that's a sad affair. Let's go ahead and move forward, everybody. One of the foods that's on the list that may cause inflammation, and what category, is dairy products. So all of your cheese and your milk, queso, and your different types of uh, um, dairy products, like yogurt and cream cheese and sour cream, and all of those, they can definitely contribute to you feeling or triggering the inflammation response. So that's the main thing there. You want to not overdo it. Again, then there's refined carbohydrates, because the body does need carbohydrates. And remember, that's one of the best, or the best source of energy. The carbohydrates are there to, or we eat those to survive, but um, consuming the refined carbohydrates made with white flour can be the culprit of inflammation. So the white flour, the white salt, the white sugar, all of those go through a process. I don't know why those things were very, very, very popular at one time. There was one time that people just thought that, if it wasn't white, it wasn't right. And that's that I'm definitely have a lot to say about that, but I'm going to keep on task here. But the white bread and the cereal, the pasta, and the white rice. I think earlier, like Velma, she asked a question about what else can you eat there, and that's these are some of the things that you want to omit. But when you see or think about a list like this, you want to get things that are just they're processed just a little bit, not too much. They don't overdo it. And I can tell you, and I'm sure that Nurse Smart can tell you the same thing. When people are eating in such a way that's very unhealthy, that they feel the entire department, gastrointestinal, stomach problems, different types of um, uh, uh, different types of illness, different types of cancer. All of that stuff comes from, again, negating the better way to eat. Eating is fun. Is we do it for everything. We do it with everything. And I know I'm kind of straying from the script, so to speak, but you should have fun and you should love eating. But if you know that you can do better, do better. Don't continue doing it and getting in these little, like it's a funny thing. And I eat what I want to eat. I eat good. Everything is a joke, because those same people are usually ending up in a situation where they can't help themselves, and we want you to do something about that right now. Then, of course, we go over to some of the sugar and the sweetened foods, like some of the sweetened beverages. Now, a real bad rap, and probably deserving of this rap, is that a lot of the very sweet beverages, like especially fruit juices, people are over drinking boysenberry juice, and they'll have blueberries and a mixture of things. Even the green machine. A green machine, sometimes you will have a lot of sugar in it, because they'll add the green apples or other sweeteners, and you drink too much of it. I know that carrot juice is good, but we got to like make sure that we reduce the amount that we drink and don't sit up and drink a whole quart in one sitting, because again, that sugar is there. Okay, so we talked about the processed foods. Process is just like when you're taking a piece of cabbage and you're chopping it up and you make slaw. That's process. Process is also when you're plucking the leaves from the cabbage. But when we talk about other things like enriched, that's a more of it is a process, but it is a process that nutrients are added to a food when the food itself has lost the nutrients through the process of uh, making it, maybe changing it into a cornflake, or changing the bread texture, or changing, many of the things that they do with the different types of foods are just incredible, and is beautiful in one way because we would be very, very limited if we don't eat the foods that's being processed. Process includes the chemical additives and fewer of the whole ingredients that can interact with the immune system. The immune system is the leading. It leads to chronic inflammation, and we want to make sure that we are making better choices. Better choices. Really get those colors on the table, all the different types of food, and start doing that. You should have a colorful plate every time you eat. That means when you eat your dinner, you want to have lettuce, tomatoes, you want to have cucumbers, you want to have pumpkin seeds, all of that. If you are still making like cornbread and some of the other breads, just use the whole grain ingredients and reduce the amount of sugar and eliminate the dairy products that you put in it. Learn how to cook differently. That's all. Okay, and some of the types of the processed foods that are apt to cause inflammation are the packaged snacks, the margarine, the non-dairy creamers. Oh, you didn't know that, huh? Yeah, it's processed non-dairy creamer, flavored yogurts, and there's also non-dairy yogurts. There's pretty much a sweet. It's just more like a dessert than it is like a serious health food. And then you have refrigerated dough and biscuits. So all of these are types of processed foods that can cause the inflammation. All right, I'm going to go back to Care. How we doing here, Care?
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Dr. Zarif. There's a question from Michelle Gento says, how good are chia seeds for you? I know we talked about chia seeds earlier.
Oh yeah. Thank you, Shell. It's great to see you. Thank you very much for being here. Yeah, that's a great question, and I wanted to tell you, like last week, you had the best questions in the house. I mean, you were on fire. So thank you very much. Real good workout too, everybody. What is our next workout at Mount Tabor?
It is on the second because I know Velma did ask the question. She asked about last week and thought it was canceled, but it was not. But the next one is actually going to be on August 2nd. That's
Oh,
next
okay.
Saturday.
August 7th, 2nd, and it's
Second.
going to be at 9 a.m. Thank you very, very much for that.
Mhm.
And that's just, talking to Michelle just remind me of how much fun we had. We had a lot of fun. And
Mhm.
we'll continue doing it. So the second, everybody, mark your calendars. And let's look forward to having another wonderful, wonderful workout. Now, getting back to Michelle. Michelle, you were asking, let's repeat the question and then to be fair.
Yes. How good are chia seeds for you?
Now, chia seeds, everybody, is a seed that's been around a long time. It's the same chia seed that people you see like chia, that's on
That's what I think
TV.
of when I think of that. Yes.
Yeah, it's the same thing. But chia seeds it's really weird because if you use them and you put them into your smoothie, it's delicious. Or if you have like fruit juice, and I would say for you, don't drink too much of it because it's a lot of sugar there, and it's disguised when you don't measure it out. Is because it's good. You just sipping, you looking at TV, you kicking back, the fan is in your face, or what have you. So be aware of measurements on that. Chia is great for energy. Michelle, you're going to love this. And to test it, all you do, like if you're in the morning, for instance, when you're going to work out, drink about maybe 4 to 6 ounces. You can put it in. I drink it with the whole leaf aloe vera juice, and I put chia seeds in it, and I'll just make that as kind of like a shot, and I'll like about 4 ounces, and I have a lot of energy on top of the energy I have now. I mean, it just feels really great. So, like when I'm playing ball, yeah, I still do. Playing ball and all that, that's the thing that you get to. And I'm sure you know this too, Michelle. It's like when you get more out of it, like when you have that energy and you start moving around and we sweat, we always, we jam on the front line. You know how we do it, and it's we really get into it, and we're getting better and better. So I just want to thank you from me and on behalf of everybody that makes this happen, including Diana. We want to make sure that you know that we truly appreciate the opportunity, and we were having a ball. So I'll see you on the
Mm,
2nd of August, and we're going to do it all over again. So
yes.
yes, chia, though for those of you, is inexpensive. It's little bitty seeds. You can put this your body's when it metabolizes it, when it breaks it down, it releases all of this energy. It's like, how could that happen? But it does.
Hmm. Yes.
All right. So let's move along here. God, I'm so glad Dr. James stopped by today. I'm so glad. There's other things, the foods that can cause disease. Some of the dairy fats, of course, can cause disease, but it's important to balance your omega 3s and your omega 6 fatty acid intake. The omega 3 fatty acids naturally found in fish and plant based foods are healthy fats that the experts consider anti inflammatory. So, some of the omega 3 fatty acids found in vegetable oils may promote inflammation. So, that's why you don't want to overdo it. Again, you want to, I know somebody out there said moderation. Yeah, be very balanced. Don't overdo it. Other things that can cause inflammation can be gluten. And gluten is another food category which the inflammation seems to depend or it depends on the individual um, biochemistry. So you might have a different reaction uh, that if you eat wheat or barley or rye, and it can be notable inflammation in people with celiac disease. Some people with celiac disease, they can just have a very um, this inflammation or inflammatory response in people with a gluten tolerance. And if you have a gluten tolerance, you'll have those kinds of side effects from eating it. You have sulfites, which is very important. Now sulfites are a lot of these different substances are in the foods that we eat, and some of the sulfite substances are used as preservatives, and they're found in red wine, and they can be an inflammatory autoimmune reaction in some people. Now, this can result in a skin rash and asthma or a migraine headache. However, the antioxidant properties and sulfites can be beneficial, and it can help to consume for those who don't experience an inflammatory response. So again, even sulfites, if you overdo it, you've probably heard sulfates and sulfites and how that relates to cancer, the overindulgence. And then the list goes on as far as other leafy green vegetables and other vegetables that are very, very important. So let's talk about some of the foods that are known to cause the that fight against inflammation, and some of the things the onions and garlic. Now these are the veggies that contain powerful anti-inflammatory ingredients that can help lower inflammation. So the organosulfur compounds in garlic, for instance, they may first fight against substances in the bloodstream that attempt to boost the inflammation. While the flavonoid quercetin, quercetin, you've probably seen this when you read about the peel of an apple. Quercetin, you might hear this when you are getting information about those ingredients in various fruits and in vegetables. But the quercetin in onions may reduce the inflammatory activity linked with the arthritis. So that's and there's different types of arthritis too. You know, especially rheumatoid. If you have the uh, if you have like rheumatoid arthritis, well, I'm thinking of oh yes, osteoarthritis. So you know the rheumatoid arthritis, you know, in your muscles, the aching, almost like you know, like a lot of people have different diseases that they ache all through the day and every day. So these are some of the things that you can eat that will help to reduce that. Fruit is another one. And then we have nuts. We also have um, the wonderful foods that you can continue to eat to avoid some all of the aching that goes through your body, and you can avoid the allergies, diabetes, the lung cancer, the arthritis and joint pain, obesity, infection, and all the other diseases that one can get. And lastly, you can definitely help to keep yourself from being in pain when you're eating the anti-inflammatory, the anti-inflammatory foods, and it makes a real big difference when you are choosing foods to reduce pain. Okay. And the five cardinal signs of inflammation is the first pain in your joints, for instance, heat. It might be very hot, redness. So you will get a glow almost like a hematoma. And then you have swelling, and swelling, that's definitely a sign of inflammation. And then the loss of function, not being able to use that arm at all. So take it very seriously. Thank you very much, everybody. Really, really happy that you are here today. This has been great. Want to say congratulations and happy first year anniversary to Charles and Beverly
Great.
Frazier, and this is really awesome that they're celebrating. And this is great because they're two patients of mine, two clients of mine that got married. And woo, getting big, boy, get big. See, they hang around me and fall.
Matchmaker.
What you say?
I said matchmaker. I'm just
That's right. Hang around me and fall in love.
kidding.
That's the way it goes. Well, we want to thank everybody, Care.
Yes.
And
There is a quick question here. Michael Coleman Jr. says, speaking of playing ball, are we playing today? And if so, I'm going to need the chia uh, seed energy.
oh, right. Oh, cool. Yeah, it's up there. I think that it might be, you know, like we have one of our best players. His wife they're expecting a child. So and that's any hour now. So I'm not. I think for right now, that's. Let me just double check here, and I'll let you know.
But just to confirm, you're not playing today, correct?
Yeah, I'm personally not playing because I'm going to do a master of ceremonies today. So I'm going to go ahead. I was going to go, but they um, from another event. It was I was told that it was called off.
Okay.
So if you don't make it this week, go next week. It's a lot of fun. Good brothers. I want to give a shout out to everybody that plays ball back there with us. It's just really so much fun, and
Hmm.
and I love the games. I look forward to them. So yeah, thank you very much. That was Michael, right?
Yes, Michael
Okay.
Coleman Jr.
Thank you, Michael. Yay, Michael. Yes, Michael is another great player. He's a lot of fun. Good brother, good brother. Okay, so that's it, Karen?
Yes, that is it. I think
Okay.
you were mentioning where to get the chia seeds. Was that what you were looking for, or?
Oh, with chia seeds, you can get them at Sprouts. They might even have them at Trader Joe's.
Hmm.
But yeah, you can get those. And if not, of course, you can order those. So online, that is,
Hmm.
So yeah, so and that's you would love it. You love it. That'll give you some endurance. It's really another one that you can also check out to give you a little extra endurance is called maca. Now, maca, you just says MACA. You can take like a teaspoon of maca and you can mix it in about 8 to 12 ounces of whatever you choose, like fruit or vegetables or a smoothie. But again, you don't need to overdo it. You can just take somewhere between 4 to 6 ounces and you're good for the rest of the day.
Hmm.
Feel good. You last long like me. Before I go, I know I keep on joking with this, but I am so thankful uh, to our wonderful creator that we as a people can actually work out and reverse a lot of what we've been neglecting, get ourselves back in shape. Uh, and this is a beautiful thing. It's just terrible when you have something that's irreversible.
Mm.
So those of us that got things that we can reverse, be happy, be joyful about it, because you get a chance when you take care of yourself, especially those people, if you 30, 20, 10 years younger than me, you should be able to keep up with me. You should be able to you know enjoy, not just me. I don't want to sound like that's I don't want to sound like I'm tripping, but I know that you want to enjoy everything that you do in life. And one little part of that is that you take care of yourself. Eat well, everybody. And uh, Care, as always, thank you very much. And we'll definitely see you the next time, which is next Saturday at 8 a.m. I'm Dr. Zarif, the nutritionist.